Well, we're making progress. This is good. This piece of wood that's clamped up was a piece of skirting board out of a house down the road from me. It's going to be a batten. Now, I never know how much each of you knows. Some of you are very skilled craftsmen who could teach me more than a thing or two. Some of you are wannabe craftsmen who haven't been taught. So, what is the direction that you plane timber? With a piece like this, it's pretty straightforward. Right, if we imagine, oh hello, what's that I've just trodden on? If we imagine that we want to plane a piece of wood, and it's all rough sawn, and we want to plane it to this line here, we've already done that side, and the grain goes like that, then we're going to plane that way. And that way we're going to get a nice smooth cut. If we plane that way, we're going to tear pieces of timber out of it. The problem arises when you've got a fancy piece of wood where the grain actually sort of goes like that. I'm exaggerating, of course, well maybe not. Where for a bit of the way you're going to be planing against the grain and for a bit of the way with the grain. Now that's advanced stuff for clever people with sharp tools, but it can be done. You sort of plane in diagonals and backwards and forwards. But that's the very basic. You put the bit of timber in the vise, and if I've got it right, the grain is actually going that way, so I'm going to be planing that way, and we'll get a smooth finish, hopefully. Well, I seem to have got it right. I'm getting nice shavings off it, but something that I meant to do, candle, wax the sole. I use candle, other people use beeswax, all sorts of things. It just takes some of the hard work out of it. Okay, so how many of you can smell this timber? How many of you can remember that wonderful, wonderful smell that you get when you cut and shape and work this stuff? Right, throw that in the bench, plane it up. So now we start to get technical. I just thought it would be nice to finish this, instead of just pinning and sort of bodging it together, to actually cut dovetails. Yeah, it's good practice. Yeah, okay, well I'm sort of happy with that. You might think that's a little bit over the top for the job I'm doing. Well, maybe it is. But I need the practice. I expect you all know this. Being sort of stupid and it's late at night, there's always the chance that you end up cutting the wrong bit out. So when you've marked it, you mark the bit that you're going to cut out. And that tells you that when you cut, when you put your saw down it, you cut on the waste side of the line. Because you can always trim back to the line, but it's hard work thickening it up again. So you do your markings and then you stick a little cross on, and that just gives you an instant visual reference as to what bit's coming out. That's the bit that's coming out. I'm going to put a saw on this side of that line and then dress it up with a chisel.